Let us pray. Dear God, being here together in gratitude and celebration, we observe your grace and beauty. The smells of an impending summer waft from the humid atmosphere. An oak tree stand wavering through gentle turbulence, casting shadows in dancing patterns. These shadows serve as a metaphor as we stand among illuminated graduates in your presence today. Helen Keller once said, "Keep your face to the sunshine, and you cannot see a shadow." Shadows can elicit uncertainty or shed light to circumstance. In nature, they can be cast by a nimbus cloud, warning of an impending storm. They can also be formed by planetary transits, implying motion and gravity. In art, shadows can evoke discomfort and fear, yet they can also serve to highlight a figure or theme. In all facets, these areas of shade cannot exist without luminosity. There is no darkness, only less light. No true black so long as there are stars in your universe. Silhouettes, an optical illusion as light waves refract and move. Keep your face to the sunshine, and you cannot see a shadow. As we gather this evening, so thankful for the inspiring academic success of our graduates, we ask that you not keep them from the shadows, but guide them out of these areas of reflection with confidence. We ask that you remind them that the artist paints shadows, not with black, but with color. We pray that they find comfort in the shadows, as we do on a summer's day in June. We ask that you focus their eyes on the shadows themselves, that the darkness is actually a palette rich in blues and greens. We pray that the contrast of light and shade seeks to give them perspective, for it is often difficult to revel in sunshine without occasional bouts of rain. We ask that when they find themselves cast in a shadow, that they look towards your light, for when the earth blocks our vision of the sun, we still have the stars to consider. In your name we pray. Amen.
Good evening, my name is Natalie Smith, and I'm here to present and introduce the very first Miles Smith Award for Teaching Excellence. The Miles Smith Award for Teaching Excellence is an award created in honor of Mr. Miles Smith, a mathematics teacher from 1991 to 2012. During his 21 years of teaching at Ashley Hall, Mr. Smith was an outstanding individual who positioned his students for success by empowering them with his belief that every worker must decide for herself. While engaging in every aspect of school life, Mr. Smith's love for Ashley Hall, his colleagues, and his students spoke to his kind, caring, lively, and loyal character. After his passing in December of 2017, Mr. Smith's legacy will continue to live on, and he will always be remembered as an inspiration to all. The Miles Smith Award for Teaching Excellence recognizes a teaching faculty member selected by the senior class members of the National Honor Society, who truly embodies the hallmarks of the Ashley Hall community. He or she exemplifies teaching excellence, values the cultivation of personal relationships with students, and has made a multifaceted impact on both the school and its students. The recipient of the 2018 award is an upper school faculty member who is always willing to give their time and attention to students and colleagues alike. They never fail to motivate and encourage those around them to do their very best, and their essential involvement in the history department, athletic program, and travel programs have defined this individual's influence on and dedication to the Ashley Hall community. We are beyond grateful to have this individual as an integral member of our Ashley Hall family, as they have allowed for those around us to learn, laugh, grow, and become inspired to do anything that we set our minds to. I'm pleased to present the 2018 Miles Smith Award for Teaching Excellence to Mr. Moody.
The Distinguished Faculty and Staff Awards for 2018. Usually we have given one award. This year we're giving two. The entire community has an opportunity to send nominations into the head's office. This year, the person is a consummate professional, an amazingly hard worker with a can-do and yes attitude toward everything Ashley Hall asks her to do. She manages events with great attention to detail and is a phenomenal leader of her team. Everyone knows when planning an event, everything will work out beautifully and be just as requested if she is involved. She is thorough, accommodating, and helps support a PQV spirit on campus. This here in the gym was largely due to a lot of her work with her staff. I'm honored to present the 2018 Distinguished Faculty Staff Award to Rashida Harrison. My guess is, here she goes. This faculty member epitomizes the level of expertise, the love of learning, and a total commitment to the well-being of her girls. All qualities this award is created to recognize. She demands a great deal from the girls, and she walks beside them, encouraging, pushing, and helping them believe in their ability on campus. A student approached her about organizing a summer experience combining complexity science and economics, and econophysics class. This faculty member worked with those students in June for no salary on her part, and even more remarkable to me was the fact that the students attended purely out of interest and excitement with which she has infused them. There was no academic credit attached to their work. She is simply the kind of inspirational teacher that is a Pied Piper in her field. I'm honored to present the Distinguished Faculty Award to Dr. Claire Christensen. Presentation of class gifts.
On behalf of the class of 2018, I would like to present the school with funds to provide a filtered water fountain on the second floor of Jenkins Hall.
On the behalf of the class of 2018, I would like to present the school with the funds to make improvements to the Smith Street parking lot.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Ashley Hall School, we thank you.
While sitting out there on the senior lawn with a group of friends the other day, the sound of a string quartet suddenly filled the comforting Ashley Hall campus air. I couldn't help but observe in that very moment the uniqueness of Ashley Hall. At what other school could students be serenaded by live classical violinists while studying for AP exams? Growing sentimental, I then began to think of my classmates, the strong, unique, and kind-hearted class of 2018 that I would be leaving in a matter of weeks. As a vocal student and music fanatic, I found myself linking the sound of the violins with my 53 peers. This class of girls is not just any graduating class. We're all wonderfully unique, with differing ambitions and passions, yet we're united in our very unprecedented educational experience. Both the sound of that string quartet and the sight of our serene campus helped me realize the class of 2018 is just like a musical harmony. We each have our own different and powerful experiences that, when combined, form something truly miraculous, something that to my ears sounds just like a melody. At some point or another, as young children, we've all been asked this most daunting question: what would you like to be when you grow up? The question itself sounds almost like a trick, as if at that point in our lives we could dictate and foresee our future paths. When asked this question in the first grade, I panicked and responded, "I want to be a singer." Oddly enough, here I am nearly 11 years later doing exactly what I thought I would since the beginning. It's this special school filled with these special girls that has provided me with the will and the ability to pursue my childhood dreams. Over the years spent at Ashley Hall, I've learned that music is the thing that gives me purpose, the thing that pushes me forward to do great things. And on that note, pun intended, I see that there's music in each and every girl of the class of 2018. Each and every girl in this class has a voice that distinguishes her from the rest of the world. We've been taught through years of holistic education to use our voices, to speak out, and to engage the world head on. I don't even think I can remember how many times I've been told that this class is exceptional, but it doesn't surprise me in the least because it's entirely true. This outstanding group of young women is held together by a familial bond that can never be broken. Looking out at you all wearing white dresses with red roses in hand, I can only become a bit sappy and say that you all confidently dance to your own tunes, embracing the unknown and standing firm and unafraid in the face of adversity. Every morning before I leave for school, for as long as I can remember, my mom and dad have told me to work hard, be kind, and be strong. And while I've pursued these ideals on my own, I've come to find that my peers have embodied these virtues more completely as a unit. The academic achievements of this group never cease to amaze me. I mean, just look at the impressive list of institutions we're attending in the fall. No dream is too unrealistic, and no goal is too lofty for this hardworking, overachieving, and tenacious group of young women. At the same time, they're all kind-hearted souls with great compassion and honor. Instilled in us is not only the desire to achieve, but to make the world kinder and better in the process. At Ashley Hall, we've learned to cherish every bit of who we are, letting our light shine brightly both inside and out. And in a world where women lack self-assurance and jump hurdles to gain the equal respect due our gender, I have no doubt that these young women, my very best friends, will meet these challenges with ease. This school has made us strong and has prepared us for whatever challenges lay ahead. And it is Ashley Hall that has set our beautiful voices to music, voices that otherwise could have been silenced. So take this gift with the poise and confidence I know we all have plenty of, and show the world just what we're made of. Lastly, to my dearest and most amazing friends, standing here before you all as an Ashley Hall student for the very last time, I have a few pieces of advice to share before we all begin the next phases of our lives. Each and every one of you is destined for great things. There will be obstacles that may seem insurmountable, losses that are unbearable, and fears that are illogical. But when faced with this adversity, never forget who you are and where you came from. In my mind, I know that music does the work of miracles. I know it can heal wounds, unite masses, and reconcile differences. So friends, when faced with this difficulty, remember that you too have a voice that can do miraculous things. You can heal, unite, and reconcile. So use your voice, sing loudly. Remember the harmony of which you're a part and the lifelong family you will always have in this class. Thank you all for being my greatest friends and colleagues, for supporting, for caring, and for inspiring no matter what. Congratulations on the completion of this life's chapter. And as you begin the next one, remember to work hard, be kind, be strong, but if I may, and share your musical harmony.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Clark, and I want to start by thanking all of the friends, faculty, staff, honored guests, and especially family members gathered here today. Without all of your support, love, and encouragement, the 54 girls you see before you today would not be graduating. We all joined the Ashley Hall family at different points in time, some up to 16 years ago, and some just as short too. However, I'm sure that we can all say that without Ashley Hall's presence and guidance, we would be completely different people. And even though we may have done our fair share of complaining and whining and wishing to be elsewhere, in the end, we would have it no other way. Through the years, we have all shared so many memories and experiences that would not be available to us anywhere else. From trips to dances to classes, we have laughed, cried, and learned together. We may be able to travel to those places that we visited with Ashley Hall in the future, or go to other dances in college, but they will not be the same without this wonderful group of girls to share them with. However, the time has come to leave our shared experiences in the past and to forge new individual memories at college and in the rest of our lives. This point struck me when attempting to write my senior goals, 5 goals that we want to have accomplished by our 5-year reunion in 2023. I was tempted to write goals that weren't very meaningful, like don't stay up every night watching Netflix. But then I thought maybe I should be a little more serious. So I chose 3 goals that I thought would benefit all of us the most, and I want to share them with you today. The first is to stay true to yourself. The next couple of years are the time to find who you truly are and to discover a future where you stay true to that person. Don't change who you are for others, and don't be afraid of not pleasing everyone all the time. You will find your people, you will find your place in the world, and you will find peace. The second is to appreciate your friends and family. We cannot make it in life without people to surround us and love us, and our family and friends are those people. They love us when we are at both highs and lows, and because of that, we should be eternally grateful. Don't forget to always make time to show your appreciation and make sure to be there for them when they need your love and support. The third is to be happy. That may seem like a vague statement because it is hard to define, but it is specific to every person. Do what makes you happy and follow your dreams. Remember to be grateful to those who have gotten you this far and avoid unnecessarily negative people and situations. Overall, remember life is far too short to not be enjoyed, and have fun. I want to conclude this chapter of our lives and send us off on our new journeys with my all-time favorite quote written by Ralph Waldo Emerson. What is success? To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. That is to have succeeded. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Li Xue Chen. Class of 2018, teachers, parents, I'm honored to be given this opportunity today. After several days and sleepless nights, killing thousands of brain cells, trying to come up with the best way to say goodbye to Ashley Hall, I decided to dig out my diaries from the past 3 years for inspirations and memories. First, I met me from 3 years ago. I, back then, seemed like an emotionless robot. Every day I would go to the library, study, go back to the dorm, study, and then I would go to the school to study again. Shocked and embarrassed, I quickly closed the book, throwing this version of me away from my sight. Next, I opened the second journal from 2 years ago. Luckily, my life as a study machine was about to come to an end. Back then, I faced many difficulties trying to make American friends, but nonetheless, I was curious about these people I have not gotten a chance to know. One day, my classmate invited me to play lacrosse. I was curious about the people on the lacrosse team, and I was curious about lacrosse. I had never heard the word lacrosse before, not to mention seeing a game. I was curious to play this seemingly exotic game with mysterious American friends. So I made the big decision to sacrifice my routine life between the library, the school, and my dorm. In doing this, there were many fears and uncertainties, among them fears of failing the AP US History exam. I believe most of you all still remember how wonderful yet painful it was to read every word and memory every date in the thick M-School book. For a foreigner, it's 2 times as hard. But my curiosity wouldn't allow me to give up this chance to explore. I started spending nearly 4 hours almost every day playing lacrosse. One day I was being devil trained in practice. Breathing heavily, with sunlight shining bright on my face, I suddenly felt dry coming up deep from my heart. I used to be this girl hiding in the library every day, afraid to make friends, afraid to get sunburned, afraid to spend even 1 minute awake without studying. And now here I was, breathing the air on a sports field 50 minutes away from the library. Smiling straight to the sun, smelling the warm and sweet scent of the grass. In that moment, I realized that my world had become so much bigger than just the library, the dorm, and the school. I felt vividly alive in the world. This year, in Dr. Davis' philosophy class, we watched a documentary on the topic of the existence of God. The documentary ended without giving an answer. Confused, we asked Dr. D what he believes. He laughed and said that he doesn't have an answer and that he will always live to continue to find it because he doesn't want to define himself. Define in Latin, Dr. D explains, means to limit. By defining yourself, you limit yourself. When I first came here, I had a definition for myself. My sole purpose in life was to study. What I now realize is that such strict definition held me back. It was only through my finally being able to abandon my rigid definitions, or at least to blur their lines, that I was able to grow and change. Thinking back, for the past 3 years, it was my curiosity and the unexpected adventures it led me to that enabled me to grow the most. And it is the failures that I faced that became the most memorable and valuable experiences and lessons in my life. I want to thank y'all, class of 2018, for exposing me to completely new things, for encouraging me to always challenge myself, and for supporting me when I was learning my lessons from my failures. It is your kindness and the kindness from my teachers that has given me the faith in myself and the courage to chase my dreams. On behalf of my class, I want to say thank you and goodbye, Ashley Hall. Class of 2018, in less than 3 months, we will be embarking on a wonderful and unknown journey. And I want to challenge you all to always be curious and let curiosity lead your adventures. Never be afraid, because if you succeed, you can rejoice in happiness. And if you fail, congratulations. You have learned something completely new, and you have made your world bigger. So stay curious, take adventures, and be excited for the next challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, all 3 of you. It's my great honor to introduce today's guest speaker, Elon University President Connie Ledoux Book. I had the opportunity to meet Dr. Book when she was provost and dean at the Citadel and greatly admire her lifelong devotion to education. She epitomizes the success of a woman unafraid to pursue her passion, break barriers in the process, and live a life dedicated to guiding students along their educational journey. The pleasure of getting to know Dr. Book lies in the discovery that underneath her extraordinary achievements and groundbreaking ideas is a woman deeply committed to her belief in the transformative opportunities of education. Dr. Book was taught from a young age to value the power of teaching and learning. Taking their 9 children with them, her parents attended college in the 1970s on a federally funded program designed to prepare kindergarten through 12th grade educators. And Dr. Book witnessed firsthand what she refers to as, quote, the everyday miracle of higher education, the powerful idea that we can learn and forever change our destiny and the future of our families, end quote. Inspired by the tremendous sacrifices and successes modeled by her parents, Dr. Book earned a bachelor's degree in journalism from Louisiana State University, a master's degree in education administration and supervision from Northwestern State University, and at the University of Georgia, a doctorate from the Grady College of Journalism. Dr. Book's accomplishments in higher education have been far-ranging and groundbreaking. As the first female provost and dean in the Citadel's 175-year history, Dr. Book served as the second-ranking official at the college and launched exciting new programs in nursing, engineering, cybersecurity, intelligence security, and advanced STEM education. Under her guidance, the Citadel saw record increases in the enrollment of underrepresented populations, including women and students of color. In January of this year, Dr. Book received the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Humanitarian Award from the Black History Intercollegiate Consortium in recognition of her contributions to the Charleston community and the Citadel. Prior to being named the first female president of Elon University, Dr. Book served a distinguished 16-year career there. In addition to her roles as department chair and associate dean of the School of Communications, she has been a leader in Elon's development as a prominent national university. As the school's associate provost, she spearheaded the establishment of the Student Professional Development Center, the creation of the residential campus plan, the development of the Study USA program, and the growth of civic engagement initiatives. A specialist in digital television, cable communications, and broadband, she has appeared on panels at the Federal Communications Commission and the National Association of Broadcasters and has testified before the United States Senate Commerce Committee. Dr. Book exemplifies the essence of Ashley Hall's motto, Possunt que volunt. Girls who have the will have the ability. Her unwavering journey to achieve the highest levels of education for herself and then to help students reach for the same heights is as inspiring as it is humbling. Please join me in welcoming to Ashley Hall, Dr. Connie Book.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to be here, and thank you for that lovely introduction. Head of School Muti, Chair Hildebrand, and members of the board, and student body president Byers, members of the class of 2018, thank you for the great invitation and the honor to be your commencement speaker. I offer my congratulations to tonight's graduates, to their friends and family, administrators, and of course to the faculty who dedicated themselves to the growth and development of tonight's graduates. A special note to the parents. I know the mix of emotions you're feeling this evening, pride, love, and perhaps relief, is tinged with a bittersweet feeling. You've given much of the past 18 years in service to this special moment, so let me offer a special graduations, and actually my daughter is with me here tonight, so I know exactly how you feel. Seniors, at this very moment, each of you stands before a powerful line. Soon you will cross over from student to graduate of Ashley Hall with greater freedom and responsibility. While you have your family and friends and your Ashley Hall community all around you, the choices about what's next are yours to make. And it's abundantly clear that our nation and the world desperately need you to be ethical and passionate leaders tackling challenges all over the globe. So tonight, I'd like to share a few ideas about how to approach the line before you are off to college. At institutions like Ashley Hall and Elon University, we understand the power of transforming our lives through education and relationships. Relationships are central to how we define and learn about ourselves. And so, as Jill shared, I spent the last several years serving as the provost of the Citadel, just up the street, where relationships and the Citadel Network are famously portrayed in Pat Conroy's book, The Lords of Discipline, with the opening sentence, "I wear the ring." So I thought tonight, since it's local, I would share a few lessons I learned at the Citadel. And I'll start by the first lesson I learned was upon my arrival. I arrived in June 2015, and it was a terrible time in Charleston. We had just experienced the massacre of 9 innocent churchgoers at Emmanuel AME Church, and I started my position as provost just a week after that event. And one of the first tasks I had was to have my uniform measured. When you serve as the provost at the Citadel, you carry the rank general. And so Governor Nikki Haley made me an honorary general in the South Carolina militia, and I wore the uniform to work. So I had to be measured for that uniform. And the woman who was measuring me was a woman in the tailor shop, Miss Eartha Brown. Before I went over to the tailor shop, my assistant said, "Dr. Book, I just want you to be aware that Eartha Brown's niece was one of those killed at Emmanuel AME." And I was really grateful that my assistant had let me know that before I went in. So I walk into the tailor shop, and I say to Miss Brown, "Miss Brown, I'm very sorry." And I made the observation to her that I knew nothing would ever be the same. I knew the loss that she had had. And her face had a lot of grief and fatigue on it. And then she looked at me and she said, "When I'm tempted to believe nothing will ever change, here I am measuring the first woman to serve as a general at the Citadel. So I have hope today, General Book." And I had a moment there. And I realized, it's not about me that I'm the first woman, it's about her and the empowerment that she feels from that. So I was standing on a dais in the tailor shop, and she's down measuring the hem in my skirt. And if you've ever seen the Army general uniform that was adopted in 1954, you'll understand when I said, "Now, Miss Brown, I'd like that skirt to be about 2 inches above the knee." And she leaned back and looked up at me and said, "No, ma'am, we can't do that." And then I said, "Well, how about just a little bit tighter in the hips?" And she looked back and she said, "No, ma'am, you got to wear the uniform as the uniform is meant to be worn." And at the time, I didn't really understand it. I hadn't fully started the work, and I didn't understand what she understood, and that is that people would be watching to make sure I wore that uniform correctly. So in other words, Miss Brown, she was setting me up for success. So I offer that because in that moment, a very important teacher, Miss Eartha Brown, taught me a great deal. She was invested in my success. So I encourage you to listen closely. People all around you, no matter their title, rank, or authority, will be your teacher. And if you are listening, watching, and engaged, you will learn. Before I left the Citadel last year, I had another experience that taught me the power of teachers and the responsibilities that each of us experience as learners. So I'm going to tell this story in two parts. The first is, at the Citadel, because they use a military model, they've identified 3 essential ingredients to leadership development: physical development, emotional development, and intellectual development. And while in higher ed and when you go off to college, you're going to have a lot of instruction around the intellectual development. Not too many people talk about the emotional development or the physical development. So at the Citadel, all the students are required to do physical fitness. And they blow a bugle in the morning at 5:15. I lived on campus. And after a couple of weeks, I thought, well, maybe I should get up too. And so they do a 2-mile run at 5:30. And I have to tell you, I started doing that run, and I started doing a couple of other things. Sometimes I wasn't so great at it, and I had to go to remediation field with the rest of the students who couldn't do it. But that 2-mile run, I started to have more confidence in my physical ability. And that 2-mile run every day, that also helped me relieve a lot of stress. And I slept harder at night, and I was hungry during the day. So I ate better, slept better, and didn't carry any stress with me. And that actually helped me on the intellectual and the emotional. So don't forgo your physical leadership. On the emotional piece, days can be like this, right? Up and down. And so I decided that I wanted to experience more about what one colonel told me, the 6 inches between your ears. Now that'll get you killed. So I decided to go to boot camp myself to Fort Knox. So I spent a week in boot camp, strapped ammo to my back and crawled through the quicksand, rappelled a 70-foot wall. I failed. So y'all can all congratulate me. Congratulations. I made it halfway down, and then it was down. But I tried, right? I got up, and I went down that wall. And then I also jumped tandem with the Golden Knights from 13,000 feet over Fort Knox. And they pulled that door on that plane, and apparently I hesitated because the man behind me said, "Ma'am, don't look down." And he said, "Look at the photographer," and as soon as I turned my head, he pushed me. And so I free fell for 8,000 feet, and then the parachute deployed, and we coasted down. So those 3 energies, that physical, the emotional, no hesitating, right? Life's going to be up and down, and if you've rested and if you're in good shape, you're going to be able to handle the up and down and embrace the up and down, because lots of important things happen in the down. You learn a lot when we fail about how to do it better. And then the last one is the intellectual. So always be invested in making yourself smarter and your classmates smarter. Share with them what you've learned. When you know they're working on a project, give them information. So you all know about that at Ashley Hall, that peer relationship, make each other smarter, share information with each other, help each other learn. And at the Citadel, we had a lot of conversation about those 3 elements of leadership. And I want to share one last story that expresses about relationships that happened to me at the Citadel. In November of last year, the student body, the Citadel Republican Society, invited a controversial speaker to campus, a guy named Steve Bannon. It was a fundraiser, and the students were raising money to attend a Republican convention for students. That event made headlines, lots of news coverage, and it was so divisive that it created a protest across the street. And cadets were on both sides. We had cadets in attendance at the event and cadets across the street at the rally. It happened on a Friday night, no major event associated with it, but it was another event on campus that didn't get any headlines the following Tuesday that caught my attention. I was at my desk and a faculty member sent out an announcement that local Holocaust survivor Joe Engel was going to be on campus speaking to anyone who would like to join. It was open to the public in Booyer Auditorium. And because we are entering a time where being able to hear from a Holocaust survivor, a living Holocaust survivor, is ending soon, I changed my schedule in order to attend. And it was not a mandatory event. It was completely voluntary. The students could attend or not attend. When I walked up the stairs to where the event was, I was struck that the room was pouring, the students were pouring out of the back of the room. Over 600 students had decided to spend the afternoon on their own listening to Joe Engel. Joe Engel, his head slightly about a foot above the podium, had been interred at Auschwitz from age 14 to age 17. And so it stunted his growth, and so he's very slight, weighs less than 120 pounds, and he's 94 years old today. When he was rescued, he weighed 65 pounds. He came to Charleston, and when describing it, he talked about his welcome here. He said, "The city embraced me with open arms. The American Jewish community made sure he could migrate safely, could find work, food, and shelter." The cadets, they were all listening on the edge of their seat, and they asked really good questions. "Do you forgive them?" "No, I hate them," Joe Engel answered. And that, he said, keeps me coming here to tell the story of the human indignity of witnessing children, some just 6 months old, taken from parents who knew what was happening, that death was imminent. Skeletons stacked one on top of each other. How could humanity allow this atrocity to happen? 67 million German citizens were silent, abandoned their fellow countrymen, and allowed this to happen. And then he challenged them. "What will you do," Joe asked, "when you bear witness to evil and hate?" And the cadets, they leaned in and listened carefully. Another cadet asked, "How did you survive it? What got you through it?" And Joe responded saying, "I thought I would die, so I had nothing to lose. I had already lost everything that mattered, my parents, my brothers and sisters, my aunts and uncles. I had no one. But even still, I wanted to live on the other side of this terrible thing, and I knew of something more, something I knew you all had here in the United States." And then he whispered into the microphone, "Freedom." And then he said it again, "Freedom." And the cadets, they were all leaning forward. And in a remarkable moment, he said in a very soft voice, "Do you know what I would like to hear? I would like for each of you to say, 'God bless the USA.'" His request was not in a commanding voice, and rather it was a whispered appeal at best. And that auditorium, full of 600 cadets, without missing a beat, said at full throttle, so much so that the room vibrated, "God bless the USA." And in that moment, I felt that chorus of democratic voices in my chest, and my eyes immediately filled with tears. Boom. The Citadel, Ashley Hall, Elon University, the United States, the hope for the future we are all invested in was in that moment affirmed. The pure joy of a free nation and the privilege of protecting her for all people. My point, students, is that you are the great hope for our democracy. Your generation has the power and the skills to solve the many long-standing threats to our democracy that prior generations have struggled with, and now they're yours. Your strong Southern roots and unencumbered ways of viewing the world will lead our great nation through the next set of challenges. Women and the voice of women leaders are advancing the way we conduct business, innovate in medicine, science, engineering, and how we treat each other in the workplace, and how we protect our country and people. You are our future, and I have great hope. I am sure the community around you feel the same way today as you stand on this line between student and graduates. This is a night to celebrate your accomplishments and achievements. It's also a night for gratitude. In the spirit of relationships and mentoring, thank those who have taught you and helped you to reach this moment. Remember, you have teachers all around you. Be open to people from all backgrounds, be respectful, and listen for their lessons. In the spirit of freedom, be grateful that you have grown up free, and commit to a lifetime of helping our nation prosper, and commit to protecting that freedom for all people. And most of all, remember as you cross the line from student to graduate that you have all the skills and knowledge to handle the awesome responsibility for shaping both your individual future as well as our collective future. Congratulations.
Are we ready? Lauren Elizabeth Cox. Mallory Ann Moe. Olivia Louise Long. Louisa Buste Byers. Natalie Love Smith. Mariana Fisk Barrett. Hannah Caroline Clark. Kinsey Nicole Jordan. Megan Susan Bonds. Abigail Margaret Hamilton. McKenna Elizabeth Hardy. Rebecca Margie Ackerman. Grace Caroline Price. Laura Elizabeth Key. Caroline Quayle Bevan. Hannah Sejan Ruther. Ashley Gordon Brockington. Sarah Carson Volpe. Natalie Darby Jennings. Eugenia Elizabeth Settle. Ann Bennett Sheridan. Hollis Lau Patterson Vore. Emily Elizabeth Clark. Brooke Pamela Rovner. Hannah Megan Meeks Cottrell. Ada Elliott Hall. Anna Caroline Bitter. Sarah Matthews Chikaris. Ella Rose Baxley. Emily Michelle Rapak. Julie Murkison Harper. Addison Lee Propes. Chinsa Jenny Wu. Shelby Elaine Attaway. Allison Shea Drennan. Madison Carol Welpley. Kelsey Lane Kirkland. Sophia Hung Evans. Li Shui Chen. Whitney Mary Halpin Marshall. Chastity Elizabeth Simmons. Jenna Noel Moss. Isabel Eugenia Walker. Iyun Maggie Tsen. Claire Madison Cooper. Erin Patricia Marsland. Dosha Ann Lor. Lily Alessandra Serio. Madison Whitney Jenkins. Emma Grace Taylor. Madison Haley Thompson. Morgan Ophelia Gadsden. Betty Joy Gay. Amelia Hope Lewis. It's time, class. Please rise. On behalf of Ashley Hall, I'd like to present the graduated class of 2018. Please join us for a reception for the graduates in the dining commons. Thank you.